Hello, everyone. No. Hope everyone's doing well. It has been forever and a day since I've last gone live. Okay. All right. Yeah, been a while. Uh, how do I used to start this? Oh, yeah. Now I remember. So, uh, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Price. I work over at Haven Comics. Uh, during the week, and I also happen to be doing some comic art as well. Before I start all of that, I'm going to do some quick housekeeping. Um, Haven Comics located at 1871 Slaughter Road, Suite F in Madison, Alabama. And please remember to like and subscribe if you like the show or any other show that we do on YouTube/Facebook. Always helps us out. And if you want to know where you can find me on social media, that is where you can find me. Yeah. Outside of that, um, I've been super busy. For those of you who do know, saying it again, those of you who don't know, super busy with a lot of work for hire stuff while also doing stuff here at the shop. Which also reminds me, if you have gotten a phone call from us either last week or the week before, is regards to your sub box. And it's just people that we haven't seen in a while. So if you haven't been in the store in the last month or 2 months, please call us, stop by the store. Uh, it does not mean that you have to wait until a certain person is there at the store in order for you to purchase your books. Just come by the store. That's all you have to do. All that being said, let's get to it. Uh, this is a piece I've been working on pretty slowly. Between some interior stuff that I've been working on. And I wanted to, well, first off, it's an idea that I've had in my head, uh, probably going on, I don't know, 3 years maybe. So I was originally going to do this as a banner. And a little bit different. It was front facing. There was a lot more characters. A little too busy. And I put it aside, and I forgot where I put it. Somewhere in the house. So decided last month to bring back this idea. I'm going to be using it for um, business cards. But I wanted to change some things. I still want to keep um, these two characters from my first sketchbook and change this character to be a little bit more of a beast man. I know I figured a lion would be a good one to do. And I have also switched from using normal pencils to mechanical pencils. It's been interesting to go back into doing this way. And I also want to give out a pretty big thank you to some of you who have messaged, called, uh, left me a comment yesterday regarding my birthday. It's really nice. Uh, my week off from Haven started off good, and then it went downhill real quick, um, with just a second wave of sickness. If you can't tell from my voice, it's definitely been something else. Uh, One of the things that I've been doing uh, very slowly in the last month has been trying to simplify some stuff. Because I was thinking uh, about just trying to be better, quicker, um, regarding uh, doing panels. For some reason, I just take forever doing them. It's not that I can't do them, it's because I'm unfortunately putting in the right details, but I guess just the wrong amount of uh, time into doing it. Um, so, some of the things I've been working on in my spare time is simplifying characters, make them a little bit more cartoony, and which means that I get to have a little bit more fun with exaggerations, with expressions, but at the same time, that also means that I get to do um, I guess put more emphasis on the details with environments, which kind of already do that enough as is with nature. Really good at drawing forests, mountains, waves crashing, stuff like that. But my brick and mortar um, modern stuff is kind of lacking in some areas. So I needed to spruce up on that, which means I also get to have an excuse to try and do more with like uh, mechs and things mechanical. It's kind of off and on been doodling Gundams. uh, but yeah, so like I said, changing up some of the materials that I've been using as of late to do the same job. So basically using point .5 mechanical pencil, no fancy lead, just whatever came with this Pentel, and also using a point 0.9. Um, so for those lines that I really want to solidify, and um, or whenever I'm just sketching, just to sketch, just to get an idea down, I'll pull out the '09 and just go to town. And I'm not caring about, well, I take that back. I am caring a bit, but I guess really just committing to the line that I'm doing. And this paper is actually not the Eon paper that I used for interiors. It's actually Strathmore. Adam Aykroyd says that I'm a visionary. I don't know, man. I think my vision's kind of bad. I have to wear glasses. No, but seriously, thank you though. Thank you. Um, oh, before I forget, made a post a couple days ago on social media regarding first convention of the year, which is going to be the Huntsville Comic Pop Expo. No, I have not received my table number yet. I don't think anyone has. Um, so once I know, there will be another post regarding it. Like last year, we're going to be having a very simplified setup. And they actually worked to my benefit last year because a lot of a lot of my original art got bought, which is great. Thank you. Excuse me. And it's also much easier to just do things in like one trip instead of three. So that being said, I am going to be, I guess, just whatever allotted time that I have between now and the week leading up to the expo. So that's close to a month, maybe a month and some change. Yeah, it's like a month and a half. Uh, Hopefully, I will have uh, stickers for the first time. I meant to do that last year and I didn't. And I've already got the design down for one of them. Just got to finish the other two. So I'm hoping to have three different sticker designs for the expo, and also prints that will be limited quantity, exclusively only for the expo. Man, I can't speak. So pretty happy and ecstatic about that. Um, I've also realized that I forgot to do, because I've been so busy, uh, Substack newsletters. So for the last 2 months, I do apologize for that. Someone had actually sent me a message, be like, "Hey, did you did you stop doing Substack?" I'm like, "Oh no, I haven't. I've just been that busy." Um, in my Substack, which if you have not signed up for it, it's completely free. Um, I only do one email a month unless there's like something super dire important that I need everyone to know right then and there, whether it's like commission list opening or something like that. Um, but basically, just kind of gave a Spark Notes version of just everything that's going on. I, I am in the final phases. Well, see, I got to. I don't know. I think I probably got another passive ink that I've got to do, but I'm in the inking phase with these interiors for a backup story that is written by Devin R. Scott, who, if you don't know who he is, really awesome black creative. He is an editor, he is a writer. Um, he's got a comic currently uh, called Lion of Olympus, and asked me to do this superhero short for um, the second issue of Knock, which will be on Kickstarter. So once I know that that thing is going live, I'll let you guys know. Um, because I've been so busy, I've had to put plans for my sketchbook a little bit later than normal. It's just having to pivot. Uh, James, what's up, man? Watching on YouTube. Thanks for a reminder about boxes. Yeah. I wanted to let everyone know that that's what's going on. In fact, I'm going to do this. Hang on 1 second. Boom. Water break. Always hydrate. Hydration is good. Yeah. Once I know that that Kickstarter is going live, I'll let you guys know. And don't think that there's going to be any backlash regarding showing off pages on social media, but I at least want to be respectful of the creatives involved. And when I get the green light, I will definitely post them. More likely, I will probably have them in my portfolio at the expo. So if you want to see them in person, it should be fine, unless I get a email or something and be like, "Hey, can't do that." Let's see, what else have I been doing? I've also been watching some really interesting uh, international shows while I'm trying to work. Uh, Most of them have been split between um, Korea and Italy. The Italian one, the show is definitely not for little kids. It's called The Law According to Lydia Poets. It is a mystery drama thing going on. Like I said, it's definitely not for little kids. It's definitely for mature audiences, if you will. But it is really interesting to watch. It's only 2 seasons. Um, let's see what else is going on. I also finished watching this, uh, which I was actually rewatching it today because it's only 6 episodes, called Agents of Mystery. It's a Korean game show, super high production sort of thing. 6 contestants that are basically having to work as a team to do a whodunits that they have like 6 hours to solve the mystery, basically. And instead of you being like, in some ways, it's kind of like an escape room, but instead of it being in a room, you're in like a whole area. Um, so that one's actually kind of interesting. Adam is asking, is this a commission or just something I'm doing? This is something I'm doing. This is actually going to be the art for my new business cards. Um, I had this idea originally drawn 3 years ago and thought it was good. Was a little too busy. I put it aside, lost it somewhere in my house, but I've technically lost it, and decided to bring back this idea regarding just the new updated business cards. So uh, I might make prints out of this. I'm not sure. I'll see how people respond to it. Uh, so we'll see. Um, and obviously, it'll be in my portfolio for a while. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Agents of Mystery, I definitely recommend it. It's only 6 episodes. Each episode is, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour long. Um, the thing that impresses me most about that show is the fact of everyone on that team operates like a team. Um, it's not like American TV shows where you've got like the tropes of this one guy is just trying to take charge the entire time and undermining everyone. You've got the introvert bookworm, the overly excessive flirtatious person. None of those tropes whatsoever. Um, so it was shocking to see that and really kept me invested. So definitely recommend it. It is on Netflix. Hopefully in your area of where you're watching. Drawing a flat or is it on an easel? So this drawing board that I have, it is at an angle. Um, can't remember the exact dimensions of it, but it's definitely probably 20 inches long. And actually, I have a ruler. Okay, so we're looking at about, yeah, it's 20 inches tall and about 26 inches long. But you can change the height of it however you want. And I bought a separate attachment for the phone. Uh, so that's why it's uh, at where it is right now. And I've got it at about a uh, probably closer to a 35 to 40 degree angle. It's been much easier on my wrists than having it flat like it had been doing in the past. The only catch is sitting up, or sitting up straight, I should say. Um, and is it on canvas or paper? It is on Bristol artboard, Strathmore. I think it's 300, might be 400. I think it's 300, but it is an 11 by 17. For my interiors, I use Eon Comic Art Board. I want to say it's 120 pounds, vellum surface. I know some people prefer a more toothy surface. I like vellum just because it just allows pencil to move a lot quicker. But uh, I use Arches cold press, which has a very toothy quality to it for the watercolor stuff that I do, and I'm hoping to do. Well, I say watercolors, more mixed medium than anything else, but I'm hoping to use that a lot more going forward with commissions. Let's see here. Who are the individuals coming out of the head? Don't want to guess and be wrong. Uh, Really not a wrong answer. These are actually characters that I had used on the cover of my sketchbook, Between the Lines. The only the only one that really I haven't changed regarding the look is the little astronaut guy, um, who is inspired by the 1980s Lego Spaceman that I grew up playing as a little kid. Um, but the femme fatale character just kind of got rid of the super elaborate tiara, um, changed the cut of the dress just a little bit, but basically remains the same. The Beast Man, it's a little bit more man than beast on the cover, and I decided to change it up just a little bit and kind of give him the uh, more lion beast look, if you will. Um, so yeah, they're just completely, you know, random characters that I had created a couple of years ago. At some point it might turn up. Um, like I said, I put it somewhere in my house, so it's there. I just don't know where. so, um, but this will be inked traditionally, per usual, and it's just no shade to people that ink digitally. It's just not my thing. Um, However, I will be doing colors digitally on this just because it was just easier, um, just to get that done. Because I think I take twice as long than the the normal person when it comes to traditional colors. I'm gonna swap over. Oh, for those that know me well enough, know that I'm not a fan of doing likeness. It's never been my thing. But just doing, uh, random self portraits like this, even though it's got all this nonsense happening. Um, it's definitely kept me grounded because it allows me to poke fun at myself. There are plenty of artists that have done, um, I wouldn't necessarily say all of them were self portraits. Most of the time, they were just a allegorical representation of themselves. Case in point, Akira Toriyama would draw like a little robot, uh, and that would be him. Frank Cho always envisioned himself as a chimpanzee, so he would have this on running theme of chimpanzee character in his work. So much so that he would actually call one of his sketchbooks and even a website apes and babes. um, Johnny, thank you so much. Let's see who else. Mike, hello. Hope you had a good time, Mike. Let's see what's happening. A lot of things happening. Turned 38. Uh, had a week off. Watched and listened to a bunch of uh, dubbed Netflix shows. Between some of them were from Italy and some were from Korea. Let's see what else. Working on interiors. That's basically it. Hope you're doing well. Huge fan. Thank you so much. Let's see. Scrolling back 30 minutes ago, I guess. Um, there was another reason as to why I wanted to make the goal and aim to try to simplify what I do. Like I said, I really wanted to, I guess, get back into, I guess, good cartooning. Um, and there's nothing wrong with people that do, I guess, a more realistic superhero sort of thing. Um, and it's not to take away from my influences either. Guys like Adam Hughes and uh, Mark Mark Schultz. Who else has a very realistic style? Al Williamson. Um, all those guys, great, great artists. Drew Struzan. Um, but it's really not my thing, and there's only so much I can do with that before I just get tired of doing that. So it's really nice to just be able to make characters fun and cartoony, push more into details with environments and mechanical design, and uh, tell good stories. Thank you for the birthday greetings. Still got people sending me text messages and stuff about that. Finally sold the Beastman character. Oh, Battle Beasts. Right, right, right. Um, yeah, that's the Battle Beasts #1 is supposed to be coming out, I think, in April or May. It's one of the two. Um, Ryan Otley will be back to do the artwork for that, and I think Kirkman is also writing it too. I think. Um, but yeah, I'm so far behind in watching Invincible. I started watching season two when it came out, and then just forgot to continue on with it. Oops. Uh, and it's no shame towards the show whatsoever. It is super entertaining. Um, and it's also interesting to see the changes between uh, the comic and the show itself. Granted, I have not read the entirety of the comic, uh, so I'm just kind of taking it as is almost. It's the same thing with Reacher. I tried watching season two and I just couldn't finish it. Uh, I think also part of it was just the fact of it became less about him and more like Scooby and the gang to an extent. So it kind of took me out of it just a little bit. At some point, I probably will have to try and muscle through it again. It's a really bad pun. Um, but I've heard that season three kind of course corrects some stuff that happened in season two. So the focus is kind of like back on him. Um, so I'll give it a go, give it a whirl when I have the chance. I do, however, recommend people that are uh, older to definitely check out the Alex Cross show that's on Prime. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but if you like Hannibal, the TV show, then you're definitely going to like the new Alex Cross show that's on Prime, and also Secret Level. Secret Level was good. I just like the fact that I didn't have to watch every episode. I just picked the ones that I felt like I would be interested in watching because each episode is inspired by a different game. So I think there was like great. Which ones was it? Armor Core, the D&D, Warhammer 40K, and Shifu. Yeah, those were really the only ones that I felt like I wanted to watch, and they were all really good. Was not expecting Keanu Reeves to be in the Armor Core one, so that was kind of cool. The D&D episode of Secret Level was it was cool. It wasn't bad. I wanted more. uh, like it ended at that part where it's just like, man, I wanted more. Um, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, well, I might as well just continue on watching, or sorry, continue on playing Baldur's Gate 3, which I haven't continued my save file in probably about 3 months now. Um, I have been so slow in trying to finish that game. Secret level is interesting. I like it didn't take a full background. Yeah. I really dig that. Especially with the Armor Core one, because I know the idea of the game. I know it's by the same company that does all of the Dark Souls games from software. And I've never played an Armor Core game whatsoever, but I did sit down and listen to the entire lore of Armor Core 6, um, just have in the background while I work. And it's really interesting, really compelling. Um, and I did that after I had watched the Armor Core episode of Secret Level, because now it's just like, okay, I got a little extra context out of just everything that's kind of like going on with that. Yeah, I'm in the back over at Haven. It's just a lot easier for me to do that back here than doing it at home. Because for some reason, whenever I try to do the live streaming at home, the video gets flagged for like something regarding copyrights audio for some reason, and I cannot pinpoint anything in the audio regarding copyright, and it's like from some random profile, and I'm pretty sure it's a bot account from a third world country, because it's always flagging itself from like five different countries, from Africa, someplace out in Russia, another one out in like Taiwan. It's just like random places. Um, yeah, it's extremely strange, Adam. Um, and that's happened to a couple of videos every now and then. So it's just easier for me to do this here than it is trying to do it at home. Even if like all the TVs are off, no music is playing, nothing like that. And then like if not the next day, then like maybe a couple weeks or a couple months later, I'll get a notification, be like, "Hey, this has been hit with a copyright thing. Do you want to dispute it?" So, and I actually had to do that again recently for one of the same ones. It's dumb. It's really dumb. I hate Facebook. um, I feel like this is one of those moments where I kind of want to do that Pepperidge Farm remembers thing when it comes to social media. I was just like primed farmland. The only thing you had to worry about was how high is your level in Candy Crush and and Bejeweled. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Let's see. I've also been reading a couple different books as well. Um, One of them, uh, well, I can't really say anything without spoiling something that I'm working on, but it has to do with history of tanks and tank warfare. That's really all I can say about that, because it's tying into something that I'm working off on the side, that I'm trying to keep on the down low. Uh, let's see. So there's that. Uh, Still trying to finish uh, reading Space Mullets. For those of you who do not know what Space Mullet is, that is actually the web comic that Dana Warren Johnson was working on before he got uh, his first gig. I forgot how long he was working on it, but it ended up getting re-released. I think it got reprinted first through Image, maybe. And as far as I know, there was no like official ending to Space Mullet. But I'm like halfway through it. Still got to finish up uh, that. But it's really interesting to see the progress that he has made uh, from Space Mullet to where he is now. Uh, as far as just storytelling, pacing, uh, character design, all of that. It's just really interesting to see that evolution happen, and really enjoyed it. But it has been re-released as a whole graphic novel through, I want to say Skybound or Dark Horse. It's one of the two. Um, and it's a recent re-release, and I picked up a copy of it last year. Um, just so I can finally catch up and get into the conversation with it. But I do want to try to get my hands on the artist edition of Extremity. That is a bucket list um, piece of art, story, history uh, regarding just modern comics. Extremity was actually the first comic I've ever read regarding Dane Warren Johnson, and it blew my mind. Um, it's just like, who is this guy? How how did this come to be? Sort of thing. Um, all right, Mike. Hope you have a good one, and hope to see you soon sometime. But yeah, cannot say enough good things about Extremity. And gosh, this is going back, what, 2016, 2017. Um, so ever since then, I've been preaching the gospel of Dane Warren Johnson. Uh, I've had people that were just like, I don't know, he doesn't seem like he's that good. I'm like, oh, he's good. Just, might not be the thing that you're normally reading or whatever, but you got to read it. Um, and I think it took several people a couple of years to finally convert. And now they're just like, man, have you been reading Do a Powerbomb? Have you been reading Transformers? Have you been reading The Moon is Following Us? I'm like, got you guys addicted to comics. But yeah, I know that he's been working on a sci-fi comic that is been in his back pocket for like what, 2 years. And I know that he's been working on pages of it off and uh, on his YouTube channel. In fact, the most recent one that he was working on, a gorgeous, gorgeous double page spread. So I have no idea what it's called, but whatever it is, yeah, I am signing up for it the moment that word gets passed. Do you have a set time frame for? Just, good question. Um, So, because of just like how involved I am here at the store, it does impede on some deadlines that I would like to, keep set, what have you. So, generally, yes, I do like to make sure that I'm not uh, taking up too much time doing, this, that, and the other. But, uh, quote Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way. So, uh, that being said, uh, real life sneaks in. So, got everything from sickness to uh, insurance popping up or whatever. I try not to take too long to do commissions for people. Um, and that's also kind of part of the reason why I'm kind of trying to change up my art style just a bit to accommodate. Because in the last 2 years, I just realized, man, I am taking way too long with certain commissions, and uh, yet surprisingly, so few with others. And I'm not sure if it's just like repetition of like specific characters or what. Um, and then, of course, there will always be like that one character that's just like I've never drawn before, and it's just like, oh, this is awesome. Finally, a character I've never drawn before, and then I'm like mapping things out or whatever, and then I'm like, oh my god, why is this so difficult? So sometimes that happens. But whenever I'm at conventions trying to do like, let's say for instance someone wants me to be involved in a jam piece, generally if I'm not too terribly busy I can probably get it done um, in about an hour, maybe 45 minutes depending on what it is that I'm having to do. So case in point, last year's uh, yeah, last year, two different events, several different jam pieces I got involved in. I probably did close to 7 or 8 jam pieces last year. Um, Now, granted, I'm doing all of this on a blank sketch cover, but I try to stick with just a really good profile. But I want to make sure that the profile that I'm doing is at an angle, and also that the character is giving off a expression that would be in line with that character. Um, so, for instance, if I'm doing like, let's say the jam piece is like Avengers, and someone's wanting me to do Captain America, and I'm just like, okay. I will, try to make, you know, Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson, whichever Captain America that they're wanting me to do. Kind of give it a stoic, kind of look. Or let's say I end up doing Vision, then I kind of want to give them this, um, the blank stare, but I might add in like really interesting like circuitry thing happening in the background. Just something to keep it interesting. Um, I got asked to draw. Uh, Actually, someone brought their sketchbook. Uh, she was actually wanting various people to draw characters from the Ninja Turtles, basically. And I've never drawn the Last Ronin before, so it's just like, yes. Uh, and let's see, that was a fun one to do because it was sort of like an upshot angle, nighttime, raining, thunder, all that sort of stuff. Basically a mood piece. And I had a lot of people inquire about that one. It's just like, everyone else had drawn the Ninja Turtles. In that was just like they just did that, and then I basically just said, "Hold my beer, let's do this." And I kind of do it not in a competitive way with you know friends locally in the area that are at the convention, but it's more of firing everyone up, basically, just like if I'm going to try to, put my best foot forward with this, and this person is, paying me to do this, then I want to make sure that they're satisfied, if not happy, ecstatic. Um, and she was really happy about that one. Um, but Jeffrey Gwynn and I kind of had a battle with the sketch covers, or sorry, with the jam pieces, because there was a Silent Hill one, and I think I was like the third person in, and no one had drawn Pyramid Head. And I was just like, and I had asked the owner, just like, hey, did anyone claim this character? And he's like, no, they actually didn't. So I'm like, cool, I'm drawing Pyramid Head. So I did that, and I think a couple people later, Jeffrey uh, sees that I draw Pyramid Head. He's like, grumble, grumble, gripe, gripe. So the next sketch jam that comes around is Cat Ladies, and he ends up drawing um, Tigra, who I was originally planning to draw. So he goes and does beautiful Tigra on the back cover, and I see that, and I'm like, okay, I see how it is. So I drew Chitara um, right next to Tigra. uh, I didn't want to. I did not want to draw over anything that Jeffrey did because that would be very disrespectful. But I was just like, all right, the gauntlet was thrown. Let's put my money where my mouth is, and did that. And it was a few other things like that. So um, that's basically what I try to do at conventions. And of course, every now and then I'll get like a much bigger piece and um, try to do what I can with it. There's only been one piece that I was inquired about at a convention. This was a couple of years ago, and I still talk about this one to this day. It was by far the weirdest request I've ever gotten, and I want to say this was about 3 years ago. Ironically enough, at the Huntsville Expo, and a girl had stopped by my table. Apparently, she had uh, was either following me on Instagram or she had uh, seen my profile on Instagram or whatever, and was wanting me to commission a piece for her. So I'm like, yeah, sure. What do you have in mind? And so she had asked if I had seen Naruto. I'm like, I haven't, but I know of some of the characters. What did you have in mind? Now, to add some further context in it, my friend Damon is actually right next to me, and I'm coloring an X-Men piece for him right then and there. I had originally did it in black and white, um, and he had brought it back, and it was just like, "Hey, can I pay you to put colors on your piece?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure." So that's what I was doing while that was going on. So, anyways, so he's there while all this is going on, and I'm coloring, and she basically described the entire thing, and it was like straight up graphic gore fests. And I'm just, and I think the thing that was just kind of like dumbfounded me most was the fact of like this uh this young woman, you know, it's just like super bubbly cheerleader type personality, cadence, whatever. And she asked for that. And my mind just kind of broke for a moment while I'm listening to all this. And I was just like, I'm kind of running the numbers in my head. I'm just like, it's not so much the fact of can I do this? Because I probably could. Do I want to do this? Probably not. Um, it's never been my uh well, let me scroll back a little bit. You know, I've done horror interiors before. I've uh, you know, drawn characters being the crap out of each other or whatever, but like, we're talking just like straight up, you know, Saw level, just gore, just mindless. I was just like, I'm probably just gonna pass up on this one. Luckily enough, we actually had like an actual horror artist, a comic book artist, and I directed her to him. And I was just like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the guy to do that. Um, of course, my other problem is just the fact of like, I typically like to take pictures of whatever commission pieces that I'm doing at conventions, and I know how Instagram is about certain stuff. So that's definitely something that there's no way possible I could post it without it getting flagged and taken down. Favorite piece that I've done? There were a couple. Um, I guess I think my favorite pieces. Let's see. Whenever I get asked to do certain characters that don't normally get asked to do, like Gravity Falls, um, which I've actually did a Gravity Falls piece, uh, which actually was for the expo last year. That ended up getting sold. Um, that one was a lot of fun, simply because I took characters that are like super duper cartoony, and I just kind of drew them the way that I was interpreting them, basically. And you can obviously tell, this is Grunkle Stan, this is Dipper, this is Maple, this is, the pig, Waddles. That's his name. Um, I thought about adding in some of the other characters, and I just did not have time to. And I just felt like, you know what, this piece is strong enough. We'll just leave it at that. That was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. I also did a Disney Robin Hood and Little John, literally walking through a forest. Um, that was actually one of the first pieces that I sold last year at the expo. And let's see, whenever I get asked to do anime characters, those were fun. Whenever I get asked to do characters like Conan and Red Sonja, um, Wonder Woman is a fun one to do. I've always had fun drawing her. Um, you know, some off the wall characters like Martian Manhunter. He's a fun one. Um, and then, of course, whenever little kids ask me to draw certain things, they always put me at the edge of my seat because I never know what they're going to be asking, and it's fun to try to interpret. Uh, doing a sketch for them. So those are usually my favorite ones. I could do pinups all day long. Uh, and there was a time where it was just like I absolutely loved doing it, but then it got to a point where I was just like, I could do more. And so there's definitely some stuff that needed to change and uh, you know fix and work around. So I believe those are usually the ones that I definitely enjoy doing the most. It's just some stuff that kind of just gets out and off and left center. Um, let's see. I think there's been a couple of times where I've been asked to do different Mario characters. The last couple of years, those have been fun. Which I'm actually working off on the side. Another Mario piece. um, it's definitely going to be one where I'm going to have people either really like it or they're just going to say, "Why are we friends?" um, it's a lot of irreverent humor on my end, but totally in line. The only things I've never really been asked from people to draw are Studio Ghibli characters, and I'm hoping that changes because actually, I I did a really big Nazca piece that I'm still kind of fine tuning. Um, and then I've got a smaller companion piece, which I will have framed for sale uh, probably in the next week or so. Um, so, drawing characters like that, Porco Rosso, Kiki's Delivery Service, uh, you know, Ashitaka or Saya from Princess Mononoke. Those are fun characters. Um, Definitely would like to be asked to do those more. So definitely been doing um, a lot of different characters. But I think last year, the one piece that I absolutely loved doing, and it wasn't a commission. It was just one that I did just because I wanted to. Um, I don't know. It's a bit of a tie. There was an interior page that I drew, which was uh, it was one of the top prizes for the raffle that we have for Free Comic Book Day, uh, and it was basically Yoda lifting up the X-wing out from the swamp from Empire Strikes Back. That one was a lot of fun, um, but I think the Wildcats piece that I did. There was no time limit. I just did it because I wanted to, basically. Thankfully, I scanned it before I sold it um, back in the summer. But that one, I think I had a lot of fun doing that because I tried to keep the costume designs a little bit more uniforms because they are a team, but also in line with what you have seen in the comics during the Alan Moore and Scott Lobdell era. So definitely enjoyed that. Uh, my least favorites characters to draw are anything that has anything to do with Rob Liefeld. It gets really tiring drawing Deadpool, 5 times in a row. It gets very tiring. it's uh, get asked to do anything regarding I don't know. Cable is all right. I don't get asked to do him a lot. So I'll bend the rule on that. Well, actually, as far as I know, I don't think Liefeld even created Cable. Someone else did. Um, so I'll give that a pass. But yeah, I'm just so burned out on anything regarding Deadpool, anything regarding Liefeld in general. Um, uh, I used to like drawing Spawn, and then I just kind of got burned out on him. Um, but I never get tired of drawing, Wildcats or Stormwatch or the Authority. So I definitely welcome that. Um, which I am probably more excited than I should be regarding that we're finally getting the Authority in the new DC stuff. So movie wise, now there is a really interesting um, Jenny Sparks comic that actually just finished up. So I definitely enjoyed that. Um, let's see. But yeah, stuff like that. It's just really nice. Um, I will say, drawing Iron Man is very tough, especially if it's movie related Iron Man or um, Ultimates era Iron Man. Partly because there's like a lot of plating and a lot of intricacy um, regarding the design, and try to do my best with that. So he's definitely the one Avengers character that makes me want to throw in the towel, but I get that air of reprieve after I get done drawing him. It's like, hey, yay, I did it. probably going to be doing some extra little doodads around here, but think for tonight, this is a really good stopping point because I've basically got everything penciled. Uh, all that's need left is inks, scanned and colored, and we're good to go. Oh yeah, good to be back. Good to be back. I'm probably just going to end everything off tonight, doing the ending show, housekeeping stuff. Haven Comics located 1871 Slaughter Road, Suite F, Madison, Alabama. We are open Wednesdays through Sundays. If you want to know specific times, just check our Facebook page or just type in Haven Comics, Madison, Alabama, in your nearest search engine, whether it be Google, Dogpile, Ask Jeeves, whatever. You'll get all the answers regarding that. Um, we are and have been selling single day and weekend passes for the Huntsville Comic Pop Expo, which is coming April 25th through 27th. It is year 10. It's going to be a party. Uh, Thankfully, we are spread out between the South Hall and the East Hall. So there's going to be a lot more room and accommodation for artists, vendors, and guests in the South Hall. All of the, if I heard correctly, all of the RPG gaming uh, panels and photo ops and stuff will be in the East Hall. So super excited about that. I will have a table there. When I finally hear my table number, I will let everyone know at the same time, several times leading up to it. And if you happen to like the show and any other show that we do, please remember to like and subscribe. Every like, subscribe, comments, heart reaction, clicking the bell notification on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Let you know when we are going live so you don't miss out. But don't worry, you can always rewatch whatever show that we happen to be putting out. Just go back and forth between videos and live on our YouTube page. And if you're on Facebook, all you have to do is just scroll, you'll find it. Um, Also, if you have a sub box, there have been a couple of people that we have called in the last 2 weeks. Some of them have been voicemail, some of them have been in person over the phone. Just to let you know that we haven't seen you in a while. We miss you very much. And also, stuff that you had requested for is waiting for you. So if you haven't been to the store in the last month or 2 months, please stop by uh, any day that we are open for business, and we will happily give you your comics. Um, and last but not least, if you want to know where you can find me on social media, just go to my link tree, T Price Artworks, or in your nearest social media search engine, just type in at T Price Artworks. 9 times out of 10, you will probably find me there. Um, I also have a free newsletter that I do once a month, every month. Given that I'm not super busy and I forget. Uh, and it's called Substack. It is the service that I use to do that. So if you want to sign up for my free newsletter, just go to the most recent one, which is the March 2025 newsletter. In there, there's a little bar. Just type in your email address to get signed up, and you will be notified that you have signed up, and you will get the notification when the next newsletter or notes, I think that's what they call it, gets posted. So, all that being said, got some final comments. Can we pre-order or get on a sub list through the store? Uh, Regarding that, that is something that you will have to either be in the store physically in order to sign up to be a part of a sub list or pull list. It's not really something that you can do online, as far as I know. So, That being said, stop by the store. We will try to get you set up. If you want to stop by and do that with the owner, he is always here on Saturdays from open to close, and you can have fun one-on-one conversation with him because he loves people and talking with them about comics and all the new stuff that's coming out. Not saying that I don't, but he does it more. So that being said, wish you all a good night, and I will see you at the next live stream.